Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Giants. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
An absolute prototype for what you draw up as a big, strong quarterback that has to stay in the pocket and make big throws with people all around him and even hanging on him, and still has that type of strength to get the ball downfield. Ben Roethlisberger, an absolute rock in the pocket, but he also can escape and make big plays that way as well.
Elliott on first down, got to get this back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The New York set to take the field. Back to the air, Roethlisberger after the pick 6. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. There are the numbers for McDonald from a week ago. 6 catches, 53 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
Here's Elliott, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jalen Smith in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Here's Hill on the return. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a give, right side. It's Vaughn. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And a solid run down inside the 30.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Back to throw here. And he connects with Ertz. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. 5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. They'll look to throw here. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And New York set to take the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done? Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. We'll look now at our starting defense. They come into this one ranked number 5 in the NFL against the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
You got nothing today. You got nothing.
Now it's Roethlisberger. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down. After 1, it's 9-0.
All right, now, black 20. Mux 56. Ready? Kill. Black and turn.
A first down carry by Elliott. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they show confidence in their defense by punting it away.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
He'll rumble for about 6, up across the 20 to the 22.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Second and 4. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. They'll drop the throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. And now out come the Giants. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
He's got him in. Complete. And And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. He completes it to Tate. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 25 yards that time. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Josh Reynolds, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 58. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Yeah, that's what I do. No. Off. Watch that. Hurry.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken from just outside the 30. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They played the Browns last week, got the victory in that game, and so far so good as they've got the lead here.
He's crashing. He's checking crack. Slam. Watch the twist. Check.
The second half starts with a carry by Jones. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll get this. It's all the way up to the 42-yard line. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Back to throw now on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. So a pick six there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 5. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. Yeah, a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets them to 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Vaughn. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. On second down, Elliott. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down now, it's Elliott. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
56, check 56.
On 2nd down and 4, Roethlisberger. He's got his man. This is Tate. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And his kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
4 yards on the dump off at 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Let's go, D, let's go. Let's get there.
2nd and 6. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They'll look to throw now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Now back to throw. And he's going to go down again. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And Eifert has it. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 45-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's 2nd and 8. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
Defense.
Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive. This is Elliott. Elliott a first down and more, and he takes it all the way up to the 47. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Like 80. 6 right there, 56. Bring it.
They'll run with Elliott. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Roethlisberger to throw. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So now the Bengals down on the scoreboard. Less than 90 seconds to go. They need a touchdown and, of course, the 2-point conversion as well. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Stephon Tuitt in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Back to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack, now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen. Something that can be used against them.
Watch twist. Kill. Hey, turn it up. Slam.
He's back to throw. unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
So another big shot dodge there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory. And I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Check.
He'll look to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. So that one hurt. No timeouts left. Look at where the ball is on the field, Charles. I don't know if the fat lady's singing yet, but she's starting to hum a little bit, isn't she?
You think she's doing scales at this point? I don't think there's any doubt about it, but they had to go for it. In this situation, with their timeout situation as well, they had to take the chance, try and get it done. They didn't. Now they're powerless to stop them, essentially.
They need a big play somehow from their defense.
230. 56. Hey, tighten down. There you go.
And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11.
All right, now. Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
Roethlisberger dropping to a knee, and that ought to do it.
It's a loss of a yard, bringing up 3rd and 12.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Giants, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.